What's up, man? Yeah, definitely, yeah. Tequila in a can. Good idea. How was lunch? Food here is actually pretty good for a hotel. It's good. I've not been disappointed. Any quick ahas while everybody's filing in from this morning? Anything good from Brittany or Peter or me and Lloyd? Y'all need to come in for this one. If you're trying to sell your own products, this is just very important. Gotta have a way of getting the money. Come on in. All right. We good to go? Brad ready? All right, you guys. Right now we're going to talk a little bit about merchant accounts or MIDs, whatever you want to call it, but basically payment processing. So, just like we were talking when Derek and JJ were talking about setting up your own products and stuff. One of the key elements of it is merchant accounts, and a lot of the stuff that we do is considered risky. So, a lot of times, merchant accounts are an issue. But a couple years ago, I met this guy Brad, and he actually helped us out and got us some merchant accounts. And even though we were in a risky, business, so to speak, so he was able to help us out and got a really good operation there. Met a lot of his folks. I think he might be the only person. I think he likes Patron just about as much as me, or maybe more. I mean, he's a Patron fanatic. So he's a great guy though. But again, this is a really important thing. And take it from me. We've been through with merchant accounts, and these guys are really good, which is why he's here. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Brad Weimert.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the intro, brother. So, what I'm going to talk about, I think Greg kind of hit on here, but what I'm going to talk about is relevant to all of you in kind of a unique way relative to this event, because if you can't accept payments, your business is over. So you can market as hard as you want, you can be as aggressive as possible, you can be as good as possible, but if something goes wrong accepting payments, that's it. And realistically, we all know those stories. So whether you've had a problem personally at this point or not, you could shake a hand with somebody in the next 2 minutes and you run into a story about your merchant account getting shut down, funds being held, a reserve being imposed, whatever. I also know that as affiliate marketers, we probably have people in the room that don't have their own merchant accounts and are only selling affiliate products. Just so I get an idea, how many people in the room fall into that camp? Awesome. So what we're going to talk about today, well, the reason that I'm speaking by and large is because it's a fairly natural progression for affiliate marketers to start selling their own products at some point in time. Not to say that everybody does it, but your own products have higher margin and more flexibility. So it's very common for affiliate marketers to move into that space at some point in time. What I'll talk about are the specifics between stuff like ClickBank or Commission Junction or the affiliate platforms and specifically merchant accounts. I'll give you kind of bullet points on exactly how to set up merchant accounts the right way, and I'm going to give you some really practical marketing tips. So whether you're doing affiliate marketing or you're doing your own, with your own merchant accounts, I'm going to go over some things that are going to be super relevant to not get you in trouble. So like, you market aggressively, there are a couple little tweaks that you can make that will prevent processors or payment platforms from shutting down your account. I'm also going to talk about how to make money with merchant accounts. Also, I am tired on a level that I haven't hit in like a year or two. I'm not totally sure why. I didn't really sleep last night. I'm going to drink my coffee and my Patron over here and get my energy up as much as I can, but I need you guys to give me energy too, because that's going to keep me going, okay? Fair? Awesome. I'm not really a rah-rah person, but like that's really going to help me, so that's good. Before I get into details, 2 minutes on me. I'm here because I want to meet you. I'm here because I'm an adventurer at heart, and my life revolves around deep, passionate relationships with people. Obviously, I'm an entrepreneur. Easy Pay Direct is what funds my adventures. But I want to know who you are, what you do, and what drives you. And for some of us, that's business over all else. That's awesome. I want that passion. For some of us, it's climbing a mountain or scuba diving or running Ironman competitions or whatever. So when we're hanging out at the bar later, tell me about that stuff. If business isn't what drives you, don't talk to me about it. Me? I started Easy Pay Direct in 2006. My background's really in direct sales. But Easy Pay Direct now has provided tons of cool things, and I started it while I was investing in real estate. And I started it because it's a residual income stream. So it was a way to make money while I was out doing adventures. The problem is, with lots of things residual, there wasn't a way to make a lot of money really fast, right? So I started real estate investing, flipping houses, et cetera, et cetera. A few years later, a client of ours had a real estate info product company, and he asked me to partner with him and run the company. We were doing like a 50 grand coaching package. We had a continuity product. We did 5 grand seminars. It's all info product stuff. I think we did maybe $2-3 million a year. To some people in the room, that's a lot. To some people in the room, that's nothing. I bring it up because it's enough that means that I've sat in the chair of the marketer and I know the internet marketing process. One of the really unique things about EPD is that we have experience in that space. So in the midst of doing that in 2010, we built a software called the Easy Pay Direct Gateway that is designed specifically for internet marketers. Today, we're one of the larger merchant account brokerages nationwide.
People for our list, because this is a perfect group for it, but I'd have to promote it as Venarians.
There we go. Bunch of cool stuff about us, blah, 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 but we work with 34 banks and processors. We function as a broker. So instead of working directly with a processor like PowerPay or First Data, we facilitate that relationship for you. We can negotiate better rates, but more importantly, it's a done-for-you proposition with us. So first and foremost, foundations of a merchant account. For anybody that doesn't know, all that really means is it's like a special bank account that converts credit transactions into cash. That was my Patron, by the way. Thank you. Who has a merchant account in the room right now? Awesome. Cool. So what people don't think about with a merchant account is the risk associated. And this is the stuff as a marketer that you just need to be aware of. You need to know. Because it's super common to think, I mean, the way that I thought about it before I was in the industry was, my job is to make money. Why would somebody close my account when I make more money? And they're taking a percentage, so don't they want me to make more money? They do, but with a merchant account, Visa and MasterCard give the consumer 6 months to dispute the charge later. It's called a chargeback. 6 months, minimum. So when you sell something, this is relevant to you because when you sell something today, 6 months later they could dispute it, come back, and you owe them money. The liability is yours. The processor is concerned because if you're not around, then they have to pay it out. And they're more concerned if you have no history, you go out and sell 100 grand, 200 grand, $1 million in a month or during a launch, then what if you disappear? The processor's stuck holding the bag. Probably more important than that is if you sell something that has deliverability later. So let's say you sell something like a membership product and it doesn't all get delivered today. The rules with Visa and MasterCard are that the consumer can dispute 6 months from the final point of delivery. So if you sell a membership product and it gets delivered 12 months out, then the liability is a year and a half. So you think about that realistically, you can think, hey, I don't care. But what you should think is you as the marketer, you better have it together so that a year and a half from now, if you sell something, you could refund it if you needed to. And that's what the processor cares about. Visa and MasterCard have these really strict rules. When half a percent of your sales get disputed, they put you into a monitoring program. Just 0.5%. It's like next to nothing. And when it's 1%, it's called the excessive monitoring program, and they keep an eye on you, and you're at risk for having your account shut down. Those are the rules and the risk. When you get a traditional merchant account, they do underwriting for that reason. So they want to know about you, and it's all about you. It's about your personal history, so your personal credit. It's about your business history, your business background. And for marketers, most importantly, it's about your business model. So it's about what your terms and conditions say. It's about what you promise. It's about if you do a trial offer. It's about if you have recurring billing. All that stuff is what gets internet marketers into trouble with credit card processors. How many people in the room exclusively use something like PayPal or Square or Stripe or something like that? Cool. So great products. PayPal was originally designed to be peer-to-peer. So it was designed to move transactions from me as an individual to you as an individual. It wasn't designed for business purposes. Obviously, that's changed a ton since then. But the fundamental difference, has anybody had their money held by PayPal? Okay. So everybody's aware that this is a problem, just to be clear. The fundamental difference between PayPal and a merchant account provider is the merchant account provider, when they set something up, they're doing it just for you. They're doing like a background check on you. They want to know who you are, what you do, how you sell the product. The risk is all you. And once you get approved, in theory, you're set, you're good to go. PayPal operates the opposite way. They're called a merchant account aggregator. Instead of caring about you, they care about the aggregate. They care about everybody, right? And their philosophy is, if one person has a problem, it'll balance out with all the good people that are using PayPal. That's the general concept with an aggregator. So you get a super fast approval, right? Problem is, they don't know who you are, what you do, what your product is, how you sell your product, if you deliver your product. They don't know any of that stuff. So their only recourse is to freeze your account, suspend your funds. Does that make sense? So it's not a bad thing. They're not a bad company. It's not a bad business model. In fact, super lucrative business model for them. Because while we do underwriting, right, while a traditional merchant account does underwriting, and we have to go a day or two or a week to set somebody up, PayPal does an instant approval. They start making money right away. But for you, for the business owner, for the marketer, that increases the likelihood of getting shut down pretty dramatically. So for you, not a great model. Super good for low-risk companies, people that don't have problems with chargebacks. Not great if you have a chargeback issue at all. And I know, so we did a survey of just PayPal. Anybody, you said, we had like 20 or 30% of the room that's just affiliate platforms. And I want to hit on these because they fit into the payment space, but they serve a totally different purpose, right? Like, what's the big benefit to using an affiliate platform? Why do people do it? They handle the transaction, so that stuff's easy. What else do they provide for you? Commission, they handle all the payment stuff on the back end with affiliates. They give you the affiliate network, the product structure sometimes, the checkout process, right? They give you all these things. So as a product, it's this full-blown marketplace. It's a very cool platform that you can use outside of payments, right? Payments aren't always the first thing on people's mind. But as a payment provider, the problems tend to be you get much higher refunds when you're marketing through something like ClickBank. It's a fixed process, so you have less flexibility and less control of the whole process. The reason that happens, and it's necessary, the reason it happens is because, remember that 0.5%, 1% thing I was talking about with Visa and MasterCard? That's relevant to the affiliate platforms, the PayPal, the merchant accounts, everybody. They all have to abide by that. So they fix the rules and say, hey, we're going to make it super easy to refund a transaction. We're going to make it super easy to check out. This is the process it's going to be. Then they know, no matter who's marketing, we're going to be in compliance with Visa and MasterCard. And the easier you make it to refund, the lower the chargebacks are, right? Because if you're just going to give them the money back, why would they charge back? The problem with them, obviously, is that they're expensive. ClickBank is one of the more expensive platforms, but most importantly, there's no underwriting. So some of them use Stripe and PayPal on the back end for payments, like JVZoo, Warrior Plus, and now Warrior Payments is doing their own thing. But whether they're using an aggregator like that or they're doing the payments themselves, it's the same model. It's fast approval. Hopefully we won't get ourselves in trouble, and if somebody's sketchy, hit the panic button, close them. Good model for them, not ideal for you. So if you are ready to set up a merchant account or you're doing it, the right way to do it, the first thing that you need to know is you need to set up the right processors. Has anybody been, PayPal's held money. Anybody had the problem with a merchant account provider too? A couple? So merchant accounts aren't like this magical thing that are better than PayPal. There are thousands of merchant account providers that are terrible. And they operate very much like PayPal because they want money right away, right? They cater to low-risk people. So if you see somebody and they say, yeah, we'll set you up, we'll give you this amazing rate, blah, 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 but they don't vet you, they don't ask what your business model is, what you're selling, how you're doing it, what your terms and conditions are, what your refund policies are, they're not the right processor for this audience. They're great if you own a coffee shop or a restaurant, but if they don't know you, it defeats the purpose of underwriting, right? You want to go through underwriting, it means that you're less likely to get shut down. Get set up the right way as opposed to quickly. 2, reducing chargebacks. Does anybody have money held right now because they had chargebacks? Reserves? Anybody have money in reserves? A couple low hands. So we have a program to help people get money out of reserves. So if a processor's holding your money, we can help you with that. You can just talk to me later. But reducing chargebacks starts with marketing. And this is a balance that you should all be aware of because I think that we run into 2 people that we talk to, if I had to clump everybody in. The one is a super aggressive marketer. They don't want to give money back. They don't want to do refunds. They want people to click the buy button, period. That's it. That's their focus. Buy it now, right? The other is somebody that has had money held or had an account shut down, and they will do everything under the sun, everything in their power to make sure that doesn't happen again, right? You've got to find the balance in between. Because if you go the super aggressive path, inevitably you're going to have accounts closed, and if you can't accept cards, that's that. So it starts with marketing, reducing chargebacks. But the big thing to know is that you can fight chargebacks, you can win chargebacks, it still counts towards that 1% or that 0.5%. So winning's not really winning. I talked to, was it JJ? I talked to JJ a minute ago about chargeback programs. We have a program called E2 Alerts, and we work with 80% of the banks in the country that issue cards. Super cool program. I'm not going to pitch or get into it too much, but basically, when one of your customers files a chargeback and it's through one of those banks, you get an email instead of a chargeback. And it says, hey, if you refund the product in the next 24 hours, it won't be a chargeback, it'll just be a refund. So we're working with the banks actively to reduce that. But short of that, the ways to reduce chargebacks are to make it easy to refund, right? Because if you don't make it easy to refund, then the course is going to be to dispute. At what point in the sale do people usually charge back? Like, when do you think people look at the transaction and think, hey, I didn't pay for this, or I don't want this, I'm going to dispute it? The statement, right. So they look at their credit card statement, they see the charge, and they think, either, I forgot to cancel that recurring charge, that product was super shitty, or I wish I didn't spend that much money, right? The best thing that you can do, and this is one to keep in mind, write down, take home with you, the best thing that you can do to refund or to reduce chargebacks, outside of adjusting your marketing, is to change your descriptor. Your merchant account provider can change what it says on the credit card statement. So if you put your business name and a phone number, they'll call you, right? The consumer will call you and refund because it's the easiest course to get their money back. If there's not a number there, they're going to look around the page for a number, and whose number are they going to find? The credit card companies. The next thing, you set up the right merchant account. Awesome. If you have one, you're still at risk. Doesn't matter how good the account is, you need to have multiple. A couple reasons for that. One, then you can never go out of business, right? One merchant account goes down, you'll have others up and running. Two, if a merchant account provider holds money, it's only some of your money. It's not all of your money. It doesn't destroy the cash flow of your business. The ways that you should do that, if you want to set up multiple merchant accounts, this is a little nitty-gritty, but simple concept. I'll try to keep it easy. Every merchant account provider, there are thousands of them, has what's called a member bank behind them. The member bank reports to Visa and MasterCard. They're like the Visa MasterCard police. Their job is to make sure everything is in compliance with Visa and MasterCard. There are thousands of processors. There are only like 20 member banks. If you go and you set up multiple merchant accounts, you need to make sure that the merchant accounts have a different member bank with them. The reason for that is if you have two merchant accounts in the same member bank and one goes down, the other is going to go down too, because it's the same bank providing them on the back end that's actually taking risk, and you'll end up being upset. So make sure when you set up multiple merchant accounts, different member banks, not one. Next thing, you have to have a way to use multiple merchant accounts. This is pretty easy today. There are a couple softwares that do it, but a few years ago, it's funny, it's a patent pending technology of ours that we never got a patent on. I don't think we're ever going to now, because there are a couple softwares that are in there that we're fighting with, and it's a losing battle. But we built a software that allows you to put multiple merchant accounts inside of one gateway. So it's all seamless. Somebody goes to the shopping cart, uses a card, one transaction goes here, one goes there. Super easy process, just makes it easier for you. So a little nitty-gritty. If you want to do this yourself, you can do it. And there are people in the room that have gone out and done this themselves. You can go out, you can fill out a whole bunch of applications for merchant accounts. You can find merchant accounts that have different member banks associated with them, if you caught that and if you know where to find them. You submit everything to underwriting. Hopefully you get accounts set up the right way. They'll set you up with gateways. Hopefully you'll get a good gateway. They'll all kind of pitch you on different things. And then you'll have a whole bunch of different points of contact. And this is the merchant account world for a lot of people that do high volume. They have a bunch of different providers. They have a bunch of different points of contact. They set up the process, and if something goes wrong, they seek it out and try to figure it out. I'm here, as Greg said, because we do all that stuff for you. So we have one application, which I think just got passed out. We have a one-page app. You can do it online or here. You fill it out. We submit to all the banks and the processors on the back end. We put it in the gateway. It's one point of contact. It's one application. Everything's done for you. And then we monitor the whole thing for you. So super, super, super easy to do. For anybody that's at home watching this, you can check that out directly and get the special affiliate Rockstar discount. The website is easypaydirect.com/AMNOW, AM Now, Affiliate Millionaire Now. For anybody that needs a merchant account right now, we're waiving the setup fee for the gateway. So you save $100 or a couple $100 if you're setting up a ton of accounts by doing it through Greg or through us here today. And that's courtesy of Mr. Davis. So outside of merchant accounts, not really outside of, but from a marketing perspective, I want to hit on trial offers. A couple clients, but I want to look at their offers and show you guys what's good, what's bad, what makes sense. This is Dan Kennedy, who I imagine some of you are familiar with. I don't really care what he's selling, except that it says free gift, right? So he's selling a free gift, and copy, blah, blah, blah. I want to give you the details of what not to do. And don't get me wrong, all this stuff works, right? But this is, I shouldn't say that, the details of the aggressive side versus the passive side. So Dan Kennedy has free, $0, $0, $19 now, $20 now. Your charges today, $20. You scroll down further, check this box, I understand the terms above, blah, blah, blah. In the terms, it says, by taking this, after 60 days, my credit card will be billed $60 a month. So that's fine, you're building in continuity, but two things. One, it's hidden, right? It's tucked away in the terms. It's deceptive. And two, it's totally disconnected from the offer, right? So it's like, hey, by the way, we're going to give you this trial for a while, and then you're just going to get billed a bunch later. The consumer buying probably doesn't know that that's happening. And obviously, on some level, that's the intention, right? You slip in the continuity, great. Processors hate that shit. Really not good, as far as the processor's concerned. Aggressive marketing, that's that end of the spectrum. Obviously, it works. Dan Kennedy tends to test his stuff. Other side of the coin, we look at somebody like Koenig's, who is known for a bunch of things, but instant customer, traffic guys are a couple. This is his trial offer. Get started today, only $1, 21-day trial. Very clear this is a trial, right? Kennedy's offer was not clear that it was a trial. It was, hey, get this free stuff, and we'll charge you for shipping. And then that's it. This is very clear it's a trial, and when you click through, it gets more clear. After your trial ends, you'll pay just $100 a month, no contract ever, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that could be better with this is, again, the terms and conditions are down here tiny, and you have to click off on them. It would be better if you just point blank said, hey, this is going to rebill in 30 days. Now, what does that do for conversions when you do that? Right, decreases conversions. What does it do to refunds? Decreases refunds. What does it do to chargebacks? Decreases chargebacks. So the question is, and this is something you need to test yourself, the question is, are the extra sales worth it, and do you actually make more money with that higher conversion after refunds, after chargeback fees, after the disputes? That's the first question. The second is, are chargebacks at a level where it could close your account and you can't accept cards anymore at all? And if that's the case, then, well, you know the answer to that. And this is about as good as it gets. We are not going to watch that video because it's terrible. But I'm sorry. He's a nice guy. But you can just see the cutout lines in it, and I just think, great guy. But Cydeck is an Infusionsoft-like platform that's just easier to use than Infusionsoft. That's what they pride themselves on. After that, you'll be billed $97 a month. Try Cydeck 30 days free. Again, totally connected continuity trial offer. Makes sense to the consumer. Again, same thing. The only thing that could be better is the terms and conditions you click on instead of having an explicit, hey, this is going to rebill next month. So those are some tips on that stuff. Last thing is the affiliate program. On the back side of the flyer that just got passed out is a special link for our affiliate program, easypaydirect.com/AMRP. We call them referral partners. Cool thing about affiliate programs with us, it's a lifetime residual. So unlike other products that might, like a software product that you sell for affiliate commissions on a recurring basis, people switch software providers. Internet marketers very rarely voluntarily switch their credit card processing. Why? Because it's a pain in the ass once you have something that's really good and stable to move on. So nobody stops accepting cards. Cool thing about our program versus promoting another merchant account provider is we're not pushing one bank. So we work with 35 banks, all of the people in the country that are interested in high risk at all, as well as a bunch of offshore providers. So if you were pushing like First Data's affiliate program, if they decline the account, no money for you. If you push us in the first bank that we take it to, we might take it to First Data. They decline the account, we're going to take it to the next bank, the next bank, the next bank. So much higher approvals than elsewhere. Also, if you don't have an audience that are business owners that need merchant accounts, we have a 2-tier program. So if you know somebody that has a whole bunch of business owners under them, you can get a 2-tier commission on that stuff forever. Super cool platform there. That's pretty much the ins and outs as I care to talk about them. Like I said, I'm here to connect with people. So I'll be hanging out in the back, but more importantly at the bar later. So come talk to me about what drives you, what you're excited about, what we can do. And if you have any questions about merchant account stuff, more than happy to talk about it while I'm here. Cool?